So if you clicked on this review being a huge fan of Kevin Smith, the Clerks movies, or even any of the New Jersey movies, which includes like Dogma, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, if you're a fan of any of those movies, go watch this movie. Seriously, because I'm not the biggest diehard Kevin Smith fan. I do like a lot of his movies, but he has made a few stinkers, and when I heard there was a fathom event of Clerks 3 coming out this week, I was like, I will definitely go watch that. Clerks 3 stars Jeff Anderson and Brian O'Halloran and is about Dante, Elias, and Jay and Silent Bob are enlisted by Randal after a heart attack to make a movie about the convenience store that started it all. Now, before going into the movie, which had 50 people at this Fathom event, I kind of got in my mindset of, okay, it's a Kevin Smith movie, it's going to be raunchy, it's probably going to be really stupid at times, but hopefully it's a lot better than the last few movies he's made, which was like yoga hosters and all that kind of stuff. But then I heard the background story of this movie of how Kevin Smith did go through a heart attack, and it really inspired him to finish this script of Clerks 3, which the last one came out in 2006. So for this to finally come out and watch this movie, seriously, I'm going to give applause to Kevin Smith because he did a really good job ending this trilogy of Clerks, and it really felt like a finale, and I had a great time with this movie. Dante and Randal are fully back in this movie. This is their movie. Jalen and Silent Bob are back to being side characters, which might disappoint a few people, but they are in the movie enough to make you laugh, and they have some great scenes. But Dante and Randal are seriously the stars of these movies, and when it comes to Clerks 3, again, I didn't see anything for this movie. I just knew it was coming out, and I really walked in kind of blind, and at first, the movie was really just getting back into the groove of things. It was very nostalgic of the first one, and then it realizes Randal has a heart attack, which definitely is something Kevin Smith went through. He put himself in this character and wrote this movie, because the movie is about them making Clerks 1, which very nostalgic to Clerks 1, because if you know the story, in 1993, this movie was made for like $27,000 in a convenience store that Kevin Smith worked at, and it made his career. It's Kevin Smith. He's literally one of us. He's a nerd. He's like all of us. He knows what he's doing. In this movie, he does have his dialogue moments, which are very nerdy towards Star Trek, mostly Star Wars, and a lot of pop culture little hits at things. Does get a little bit religious in a few conversations, which might poke at some people wrong ways, but you know, Kevin Smith, he went for it in this movie, and sometimes it really worked. The movie is very funny if you ask me. Then there are times where the jokes just really don't land, and there's kind of like a 5-minute scene of just them completely talking about a kite. And like I said, if you're a fan of his other movies, especially the first two Clerks, you're going to love this movie. There are so many inside jokes in this movie about every other movie. There are plenty of little cameos that pop up that make you really smile, make you happy. And by the end of this movie, all of that's really nice and funny, but this movie's very dramatic. And I mean beautiful in some moments. I'm not even kidding you. There is a serious storyline in this movie that is very in the feels, and you're like, oh man, and it's a great character motivation for this character, because I don't want to spoil this movie for anyone that hasn't seen a trailer or seen the other Clerks movies, but with this movie, it gets emotional, and at the very end, people were crying in my theater. I mean, I heard the sniffles. I got a little sniffly, I can't lie to you. It's really emotional, and I kind of relate to Kevin Smith as his character of Randal kind of resembles him going through such a heart attack, a traumatic event, to make a movie about Clerks, which Kevin Smith did back then, and then he had a heart attack a few years ago, so I feel for the guy. I really do. Overall, I truly think this is a beautiful comedy. It has a great dramatic effect that really hits you, especially for a person that wants to be a director and used to work at this movie theater that I went to tonight and worked there for so long, and now I'm finally in college, I'm finally working on many short films. I feel a relationship in this movie to Kevin Smith, and watching it was very inspirational. Yes, there's some stupid, corny jokes that is very funny and over the top, but you get that because it's Kevin Smith. But he is a great writer. He does great stuff with his dialogue. We've always said that. In this movie, there are beautiful moments. Seriously, moments that really hit on the heartstrings, and I respect that. I had a great time with this movie. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be. And to end this trilogy and end, I'm guessing, the whole universe of these movies, I thought it was a great send-off. I'm gonna give Clerks 3 a B+. Like I said, if you're a fan of Kevin Smith, go and see it. It's in certain movie theaters right now with Fathom events, so I definitely recommend it if you can go see it. And like I said, I like this movie. I really like this movie. I would totally go watch it again. It definitely, if you've not seen the first 2 Clerks movies, especially the first one, watch them before this one. It will help tremendously. And guys, enjoy this review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.